This is CJ Loriello, owner of CJ Turn 2 Fitness, coach for FTB Phillies, and this is Step Up Podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Step Up Podcast. It's your host, Nelly. I got my co-host, Ali.
What's going on?
And shout out to my home team, my brother, CJ Loriello out here.
What's up, guys?
Big Turn 2 guy
CJ.
in the building.
What's going on, guys?
Let's get into it, CJ, man. Florida kid, right?
Yes, sir.
You was out there in Florida. You were balling out. Miami-Dade kid. You played. Talk to me about it. Oh, Bethune-Cookman. Shout out to Melendez. Big Melendez guy. Talk to me. Talk to me about your story.
Well, I was born in New York, grew up in Miami, Florida, went to Miami Southridge, had a great high school career, played for Miami-Dade, did my thing there for Steve Hertz, phenomenal coach, definitely a Hall of Famer. And then I played Division I baseball for Marvell Melendez over at Bethune-Cookman University.
Yeah, there you go. So when you with me and Merv, that's my brother. Melendez families, we family. Both his kids play for me.
Merv is like a second father to me.
Yeah,
man.
both
Great
his
guy.
kids play for me. Humble family from Alabama. They coached Alabama. Then Bethune. They were moving around, right?
All the way around.
Bethune,
yeah.
Alabama.
Then went to Alabama State.
Yeah.
Then moved to Miami.
See,
coached at FIU. Still in Miami.
MJ was probably one of the best catchers I've gotten to coach in my
Phenomenal,
career.
man. Great kid.
Great
He's doing
kid.
his thing in the big leagues right now. Shout out MJ, man. Keep doing your thing, brother.
Big Royals guy.
Go Royals.
So talk to me. When you were at Bethune, obviously you're a baseball guy. You dominated. People think you're a football guy because what you do now and what you do for NFL and everything. But talk to me with the baseball journey. How'd you get to Bethune?
Well, like I said, I went JUCO. I played for Miami-Dade. I graduated from there, and Melendez gave me an opportunity, to further my career at Division I, Bethune-Cookman University.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best fit for me. I'll go in right away, have tremendous impact on the team, hit, 3, 4 every day for him, move me up to lead off. It was just a great situation for, my career to, expose myself to try to make it to the big leagues.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got hurt my senior year, and it put me on the path that I'm on today, the training and helping kids out.
Was it always baseball for you?
Everything was baseball. As a kid, I grew up, I played all sports. Baseball, basketball, football, soccer, I did it all. And then by 13, I really narrowed down into being a complete baseball player. That's all I did. I trained. My whole life was baseball.
And then just being the baseball player, and I was in that position, and once you got injured, how lost were you at that moment? What was the biggest struggle at that moment? Because I've been there.
Post-sport depression is a real thing, guys. I feel like that's something a lot of people really don't talk about. It's a tough time when you've been doing something your entire life. I've been playing baseball since the age of 3 years old. My family's very tied into the game of baseball. My cousin actually managed in the major leagues for the Miami Marlins. He's been in baseball for over 50 years. So it was very tough because that's all I knew. I went to school for baseball. I trained for baseball. I didn't learn any trade. I didn't have time to work, have a job. My job was to play baseball.
What did you hurt?
I tore both shoulders, actually.
Wow.
So after my freshman season, I tore my left shoulder. Had a red shirt, that following year. When I came back for my sophomore season, I actually led the state of Florida in hitting. I hit 460 at Miami-Dade. I thought, maybe I'll get my opportunity to play pro baseball. It wasn't in the cards. Marvell Melendez gave me the opportunity, to go to Bethune-Cookman. And like I said, it was a great fit for me. The only Hispanic and Puerto Rican head coach in Division I baseball at the time.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, because Melendez Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So it was just perfect. It was great. I had a phenomenal experience there for him. I had a great career for him. My junior year actually was MEAC Player of the Year. I did my thing in the tournament. I hit 404. Had a great season, and I thought I was gonna get picked up again. It wasn't in the cards. Senior year, I was off to a great start doing my thing, and then I tore my right shoulder, and that's what put me on the path today.
Is it more like when you're in a situation like that? I've never asked somebody this. I asked myself really. Is it because we put our eggs in one basket?
I think so, and it's just it's a letdown. It's just like anything. If you're studying for your doctorate, and you fail that test, or you're studying to be a nurse or a lawyer and you fail your bar, it's disappointing. It's a big letdown. because you've been striving so hard and putting a lot of effort into it. But that's life, you know, and just like baseball's a game of failure.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta learn how to overcome those. You know, you can't let your highs get too high or your lows get too low. And thankfully, I had a great village, you know, I could lean back on, and they pointed me in the right direction, you know, to get me out of that rut and be the man I am today.
That's a blessing. Where was your mind at when baseball was officially kind of, you recognized it was done?
It was dark. It was very dark. I was very mad and very angry. You know, it's just.
Go ahead, get into it. 'Cause
Yeah,
everybody know my story.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, it's like I said, when you're playing ball and you're doing great, everything's given to you.
Yep.
And the minute you get hurt, it's taken away. There's no explanation. There's no phone calls.
It's like baseball turned their back
Yeah,
on you.
it's like everybody just turns their back, and it's like they only wanted to be with you for something.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a very bad feeling. You know, you're a young man, you're trying to figure it out.
You were on your high, you're
Yeah,
up, everyone
and
loved you.
And now it's like, yo, you get all the free gear, everything. And
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, man.
Well, and you know, granted, you know what I do, and you know, certain organizations do, giving these kids what we do. You know, obviously,
Oh,
I give
man,
them about
it's-
$5,000 in gear,
It's crazy what these kids get out there, man.
bats,
It's like,
custom gloves, Aria sliding mitts, you know,
Right.
just all that stuff, and you know, me being able to do that as a coach and as an organization, and obviously you're with me now, you're coaching with the Phillies, which is, you know, congrats, it's a big step, you know, getting back in the
thank you.
baseball
Appreciate
world
the
like that.
opportunity. FTB, baby.
It's for me. It's more, you know. I didn't have that. My coach didn't give me that. We earned it, you know, really. But when you were the dog, like you said, you got everything.
You got to know.
Not everybody on my team's a dog, right? Everybody's great. But not that one person is a one, you know, first rounder.
Right.
That kid is not just getting that love. My whole team gets love. Is that something you think that's going to help change the game with the mindset of some of these kids, or it's going to soften it? Because I see both.
I
see
see
both.
both.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel it depends on what situation the kid is coming out of. You know, because if a kid's giving everything his whole life, this is expected.
Yeah.
You know, but a kid that comes from the inner city that can't afford the gloves, the travel, you know, to get these opportunities, man, it's life changing. You know, I coach kids in New York City that, like, true story, I'm going to a championship game at Yankee Stadium. We're crossing bridges.
Yeah.
What bridge is that? You know, they're literally just going from borough to borough. You know, I
Borough
have
to
some kids
borough.
that literally never left the city. You know, mind you, baseball is taking me all over this world.
Yes.
You know, and I'm thankful for what the game has, you know, brought to my life and the opportunities it's opened up and, you know, the people I've met. And that's what really got me out of those dark times. You know, I had to revert back and see how far this game actually brought me. You know, because I didn't make it to the major leagues, it didn't mean I didn't win.
Yeah.
You know, my mother didn't pay 1 cent for school.
You went to
I got
college.
my bachelor's, I graduated magna cum laude, I did my thing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't pay 1 cent, I'm not in debt. You know, so I feel like I won.
God
you
does
know?
things for a reason.
Yeah, literally.
Does things
God
for a
has
reason.
a plan.
You know.
He
So
really does.
what has brought you to what you're up in New York right now?
Yeah, I'm up in New York. Fun story. One summer, you know, I was trying to figure it out. You know, I didn't know what to do. My coach got me back on the field. I was coaching, training, and it brought that love back. You know, I got to see like how the kids saw me, how rewarding it was. You know, how they listened. And one of my coaches, I'll never forget, it stuck with me. It's like, my job is to make you better than what I was.
Yeah.
Ray Noriega was a phenomenal man. You know Ray. I mean,
Yep.
great career.
Yep.
Guy did his thing. Miami legend. And that sat with me, and it was like, you know what? This is what God really put in store. You know, these injuries happen for a reason. You know, and I was able to gain the experience and knowledge I did from my coaches, you know, to pay it forward. You know, and that's what I'm doing right now.
It's like everything we walk through, it goes back to kind of what we were speaking about earlier. Having the vulnerability to open up to kids and almost speak on what you've been through is something that sets you apart, honestly, as a coach.
Right.
Like,
I feel like that really does go a long way. Like, there's a lot of guys that have tremendous knowledge, but they do lack the experience. They don't know what it is to play under those pressure situations, you know, and to have impact in big games. And fortunately, I lived through that, you know, and I had a lot of success.
Yeah.
You know, so I knew how to pick myself up in those down times, you know, to perform, you know, and still have impact on my team. And thankfully, I know how to connect with my kids and talk to my kids where I could get them to be on that level or even better.
Well, I mean, just listen, and stories are crazy, and your come up is crazy, but things happen for a reason. I'm big on that, and look where you're at now. I mean, you got top NFL guys, you got top MMA, you got everybody coming to you to get me big, get me strong, And
Nah,
you're the
it's
turn
crazy.
two guy,
I'll be up there soon.
I went to New York for one summer, really, like. To
We were
coach
just
a
with the
team.
Buccaneers guy because of him.
Shout out my boy Chris. He came through, showed the kids some love. But I went up to New York for a summer to help a good friend of the family, the Palacio brothers.
Yep.
They're like my little cousins. Their father gave me an opportunity to come up to New York and coach, and I fell in love with the city. I fell in love with it. I felt like I had a lot to offer to the kids, and they listened. They listened to my story. They took what I had to give for them, and they ran with it. I have over 100 Division I athletes, between baseball, football, basketball, soccer. I have guys in the NFL now. I have guys playing in the major leagues, and the goal was to have an impact.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't think it was gonna get this big.
Yeah.
None of us do when you start something
I mean,
like
you
this.
don't. You always shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
You aim for the moon, you hit the stars. And that's really what happened.
Let's call it what it is. Like it's similar to what I did. It was an accident. I'm doing it for me to fix things, and then it just gets bigger than what I expected.
It really
you know?
was. Like this. Yeah. There wasn't really a game plan.
There's never a game plan.
There wasn't a game plan.
It's
I
never.
went out there. I had a dream.
Yeah.
But I had to work. I had to find a job. Apartment, bills.
New York's
New York's
tough.
expensive. So life really hit. So I had to figure it out. And to do the right things is, it's hard.
Yeah.
I learned that. It's hard for people to really do the right things. But if you stay consistent, just like baseball or any other sport, your opportunity will come. And thankfully, I met great people along the way. Great people that built my network.
Yeah.
To help me push through and be where I'm in the position I'm at today.
Where did this relationship start? You two?
That's the germ.
Jerm. So
Coach.
Jerm, Coach knew Nelly, has a great relationship with Nelly.
Yeah.
He's been watching me for a couple years now just because I trained one of his little cousins.
And he said that. I was scouting him for 3 years now.
Yeah,
3
and
years now.
I had no idea who this guy is. And I'm going to be honest, I'm closed off. I did everything in New York by myself. I don't have no partners. I opened up my gym by myself. I built it with my uncle. And I've been on this journey alone. I never had no partners. I never got screwed over by anybody. I just
Clean name.
done
Clean
my own
slate.
thing.
Yeah.
If I didn't have it, it is what it is. I got to work and get it.
No.
And that's pretty much what happened. Jerm came by. We connected great. He presented an opportunity to me. He wanted me to meet Nelly.
Yeah.
So we chopped it up a little bit. Nelly flew me out to Florida to meet him for Jupiter last year.
That was good. It was a
And
fun one.
no lie, there was, 300 scouts. And I haven't been home in that kind of environment for almost 15 years.
Wow.
And, honestly, in that kind of environment since before, high school. So I had an entire college career. I'm living my life now in New York, 10 plus years. And to come back and get in that realm, it was so surreal. I was getting goosebumps, just being with these guys. I was getting hyped to play again. It was just a feeling of joy in life, can't explain it. Being on that field is what we do.
Yeah.
And I took that away from myself because I was kind of disappointed, and I felt like I could do more on the outside, without having to set foot on those fields and going through those emotions again. But when I went out there and to Jupiter, it was insane.
I mean, and
It was. And
you wouldn't. I'm being honest with you. You coming back even this week. This is crazy tournament. We got the boys back, different group.
It's awesome.
Kids are special. You're seeing that, but just being there, look like you've been coaching forever. We all speak the same talk. Me, you, Dom,
one thing
Antoine.
I preach
The
is
same talk.
You can't fake this game.
Can't fake this game. You
You
don't
can't
know if
fake
you
this
play.
game. We're gonna know if you played. I'm thankful I grew up in a great system. I have phenomenal coaches that taught me the game, and I've been doing my thing low key in New York, without being on the field.
Yeah.
Speaking the game mentally, trying to work on that aspect to get kids stronger.
Well, just not being on the field and going there and hey, your swing, wow, Nelly, look at that. It's special. It's I have an eye for the
Yeah,
game. I have an eye for
Well,
talent.
at my size, I had to be like that.
Yeah.
I had to master the game, and I had to take every little advantage I can, to go a long way, because I didn't have that 6'6" body like Dom.
Can't tell my son you could be like Dom one day.
So it's,
I want-
that's what happened. And when I went down to Jupiter, obviously I ran into coaches that recruited me,
Yeah.
my boys that are scouts now, and it's like I was running into guys
crazy.
I hadn't seen in years.
It's a small
You
world.
know, baseball's a very small world.
Small. Once you
And
leave that borough, you're like,
no lie,
whoa.
I think we were together for like, no lie, 2 hours, about
Yep.
2 or 3 hours, and then he's like, you need to be with me.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that was it.
Now here
It
you
was-
are.
Yeah, you know, it was a great opportunity. I mean, I'm down in Florida again. You know, I'm coaching tremendous athletes. You know, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. You
It's
know,
a different
It's
environment.
a different environment, different
Yeah.
baseball, but this is my calling. You know, this is what I love to do. You know, and I got a like-minded person with me. You know, helping these kids out is, I mean, it's a home run in my book.
Where do you think the game is at compared to where it was when you were around the kids you guys are coaching's age? When it comes to like the biomechanics and like taking care of your body.
These kids have so much more knowledge than we had. back
Yes,
then.
so-
I mean, these kids,
You can pick up the phone and figure it out.
There's kids right now at 16, 17 years old doing 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, facts.
You know, and the talent is way more advanced. The training is way more advanced. The technology is way more advanced. But what I see, and I think we all can agree with, is everything's become so analytical.
Yeah.
The IQ is gone. And I've noticed that big time, you know, just being out there for a couple of days. You know, just playing small ball, learning the game. I feel like that's the one aspect this game is really missing because everybody's so caught up on the metrics. That's from
Yeah.
what I see. You know, and it's sad because we had tremendous talent, but I feel like the high school coaches aren't doing their job to get these kids fundamentally sound for higher level baseball. You know, and that's just what I see in my opinion. And reverting back to my high school career, I mean, I know the time we put on that field and, you know, the knowledge our coaches gave us. You know, I just talk to my kids and I know they're not getting the same kind of information. You know, so it's, if they want to go to this next level and possibly play professional baseball,
Yeah.
you know, I'm scared that they're going to have, you know, a short career because they don't know these things, you know, that could take them to the next level.
What would some of those things be, do you guys think? Do you notice, like, in some of your kids, if you were to preach top 3, like, drill it into them to go to that next level of, like, professional ball, that would be a difference when it comes to their mindset or their physical health, that, like, would be super important for them to, like, implement to get to that next level?
Honestly, mindset, work ethic. One saying I like to say is, it's your job to stay there. It's their job
Yeah.
to replace you.
Yes,
You know, so
it's a job.
running hard, throwing the ball hard, you know, knowing where to be on the field, knowing how to anticipate, those things go a very long way. And scouts and, you know, coaches, recruiters, those are the things they look for. They don't just look and see how hard you can throw a baseball or, you know, they want to see what you can do after that.
Yeah.
You know?
And just going back to what you were saying, you know, and I'm there. I'm doing this a long time. It's not all high school, but it's a lot where you know
Yeah.
I get the best athletes in the world, or I see the best athletes, but they don't know baseball.
Right.
But you're a freak of an athlete, you know, and I think that's where that wall hits, and they realize, oh, am I that pro guy anymore?
Right.
You are.
And that could be like, listen, you could get that pro opportunity, but now, if you don't know where to be on the field,
Situations.
if you don't know situational baseball, your organization can't trust you to move you up to another level.
Yes.
Because you're going to get lost or you're going to get exposed real
And,
fast.
and I don't think a lot of these parents and kids know, just to talk to you guys about it, it's more about, you know, if you don't know the knowledge of the game, it shows me a characteristic thing. If this is what you really want to do you really want to get on that field and play this game every day of your life, but you don't know where to go in certain situations? You don't know what the count is. I don't know what an approach means. I don't know how to take 4 steps leads. I don't know what to do with a 2-1 count. Do you really want to play this game?
You got to master this game.
Baseball like
You
you.
know, like,
Yeah.
no lie, like, the beautiful thing about football, and all my football guys can attest to this, they study film.
Film.
You know, I have guys, like, you know, in the NFL right now, they go to workouts, training camps. I call them, what are they doing? Literally 2-3 hours just studying film, plays, rotations, the whole 9. You know, they're really mastering their craft because if they know where to be on that field, that's money they making.
Yeah.
You know, these guys get incentives, bonuses, the whole 9, and it's like they're trying to add more value, you know, to themselves. You know, and that's one thing I feel like our kids could do more. They need to watch way more baseball. You know, if there's your position, key on the best guy. Watch videos, see how he goes about the game, see how he moves, you know. Try to copy those guys. We used to do that all the time.
All the time.
I used to turn on ESPN, look for Derek Jeter highlights, you name it, Alex Rodriguez.
I wanted to be better
like,
than my famous player.
Yeah,
I wanted to be
and
better
that
than
was my
Andrew
job.
Jones. I wanted to be better than Bernie Williams.
This guy woke up and did 5 cartwheels, 3 backflips, like that's what I got to do to make it. I'm doing it, like yeah. It worked
That's the main thing for me. And it's crazy the way the game is, but I will say the metrics of these kids is special.
Yeah, it
there
is. That's
some-
one thing. The metrics is it's crazy.
It's crazy how strong they're.
Really crazy.
They grown men.
They
grown
I
men.
have 17, 18-year-olds that look like, they're 25, 26. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, so and let's spin it off a little bit. Let's go back, into CJ because we're veering off at the high school, coming into coaches. Let's go to CJ real quick. Talk to me about this turn 2. How did CJ become turn 2? That's a real name. Everybody knows turn 2.
CJ turn 2.
I need a story time.
So, story time, no lie. Shout out to one of my clients, Arthur Melleton. It's a big ad agency in New York City. Training him privately in his building. And he's just, CJ, you need to come up with a name for yourself. You're such a great trainer. He's hyping me up,
Yeah.
You need to go bigger, and I'm just like, yeah, all right, let's get our reps in. I got another client, I'm not even thinking anything. And this guy's just dissecting me, asking me questions. Who's my favorite player? What I love to do? What I like? Which I'm thinking this guy's just getting to know me.
Yeah.
So one day he goes, after a set, he goes, oh, look in that black bag real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Pull out a manila folder. No lie, it was just templates, names, and he had a whole presentation for me. And one of the names was CJ Turn 2 Fitness. And I was like, he goes, dude, like, you love baseball, you love basketball, you love football. So it's like Turn 2. Derek Jeter is my favorite player ever. I'm a big Turn 2 fan. Shout out Derek Jeter, you're my guy.
Two.
But it had multiple meanings,
Yeah.
People turn to you, to help their lives, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, soccer, whatever. And he made a dope logo, I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, you know what? I can run with this. And
It's stuck.
10 years later, I got my own place. And
You're booming. We're my own place.
everybody-
You're about to have a
it's
home
like-
team spot. You're about to have one in Florida. We about, we about to boom.
It's been a really fun
For the
journey.
clients too, I will say the clients you have and the space you have, the way you work that space is unbelievable.
Thank
I
you,
will
man.
say
I
it's
appreciate
crazy.
it.
It's not
But
a lot
most
of room.
importantly, is being able to, give my family security. I've created a lot of opportunities, and I've been able to travel the world, provide a great, life for my kids, and, hopefully, God willing, I can expand this down south and get something going with my brother and just keep helping kids out, man, because that's what we love to do.
So,
For the kids. Do you have any children?
Yes, my daughter's 3 years old and my son is 9 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
you baby.
I'm about to be a dad in next month.
Yeah, man, it's the best. Shout out to my wife, Saranda. You're holding it down at home, so.
And talk about it because Dom talked to me about it. Mo said the same thing. Just having that backbone and that.
Oh, man,
in
it's-
certain situations.
It-
Life's
it's,
crazy.
It's really the best, I mean, when you have a partner, God choose your partner wisely. I'm telling you.
Amen.
But my wife, she holds the house down. She does a phenomenal job with our kids. So I could,
Make the name that you have in this game.
yeah,
right?
literally, it's a team. If I don't have her, I don't have this. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So talk to me. The next goals, right? The next goals of
Next goal, I really want to get down south and just make that bridge from the Northeast to
Be
down
that feeder.
south and give these kids more opportunity. Because we have talent up north, but it's known. The kids down south get exposed more. And if I could, prepare these kids for this stage and come out here and give them an opportunity, through Nelly or other organizations, that fit them,
Yep.
for them.
Yep.
Because we only got 9 guys on the field. We can't have, 50 shortstops out there,
No.
So, and that's what I respect about Nelly. I've been here and I've watched, we have guys calling us left and right,
Yeah.
and we got a solid squad, but he's still placing these kids in an opportunity for them to, excel themselves.
100%.
And that's not selfish. That's just being a real guy, trying to help out the community. That's huge.
Well, and again, it goes back to like I told everybody else, and I tell you, it's bigger than us, right?
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people understand if those kids make it. It helps me anyways. I don't get the whole trophy.
It's a win.
It's a win. So like
we don't do this for
Yeah,
championships. We don't care about trophies and everything. Like,
I'm here to sell a product,
yeah.
and I'm making a kid's dream come true. That's my goal.
Like, what it is? Like, we were at the field the other day. We have a game. We're literally out there coaching these kids. We're coaching them up. We're in it. You got pro baseball players pulling up, NFL guys pulling up, like,
Yeah.
and they're there for us. You know,
Yeah,
they're there
hanging out.
because we had an impact in their life, and they know the journey, they know the story. You know, we were there for them, so it's like they come back for the kids, and they just, you know, you don't got to ask them; they do it naturally.
Yeah. Well,
You
and it's
know?
so special for them to be surrounded by that because you become who you surround yourself with. And it's like the environment. One thing I noticed, I moved down to South Florida like 2 years ago now at this point. The way these kids are just playing and focusing in on one sport all the time. And it's like training, field work, hit the cages, baseball,
Yeah.
baseball,
Yeah.
baseball, 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 baseball.
It's really become a business, but unfortunately, you know, kids aren't playing other sports, so they're specialized. You know, they'll come to a guy like me. I could do speed, agility, strength training. You know, so the other aspects they could get from other sports, they're just focusing more on baseball, but still getting that, you know, athleticism out. You know, if that makes sense.
I think that's special. I mean, the one thing I like with you, CJ, you got a strong mind. You know, use your mind well. And, you know, what's advice you could give these kids mentally? Because obviously you see, you're with me, and you see the 1%ers. You see the guys are 6'4", 6'3", 220, runs a 606. You got every tool in the world but the mind. You know, what's the advice you could give them? Because you're good at that. That's one thing you're real good at.
Guys, study. You know, I mean, like I said, if you really want to do this, you got to master the craft. You know, go over film, study the position, you know, anticipate, give yourself situations, you know.
Like we spoke
it's
about earlier,
It's going
approach.
to happen.
Yeah.
Have an approach all the time. Like, always have a game plan. You know, you can only wing it so much. I hate to say it.
Facts.
You know, you got to have a game plan when you step in that box. You know, you got to have runners on base. You got to know, you know, if the ball hits me, you know, this side, I'm going here, or it's hit this way, I'm
routine.
going here. Yeah, you know, you got to make it routine for yourself. You know, the same thing goes for my football guys. You know, you want to be the best safety or best wide receiver, you got to know how to run these routes precisely. You know, where to be on the field so you catch that ball, so you can turn it up for a touchdown or catch that pick six. You know, like, it's a lot of anticipation in all the sports, and the only way you can get to that point is if you master it, study it, so it becomes, you know, natural for you. It becomes involuntary.
And it's crazy you say that because I think that works in life as well. You know what I'm saying? I think you learn to master something you love. You learn to master something else you love. You learn to do that. Let me teach my kid how to be a better man. Let me teach him how to do this. I'm going to help you master this. You know what I mean?
And that's one thing, like, I really preach to my kids, and like I said at the beginning, it's very hard for people to do the right things.
Yeah.
But if you do the right things,
That's awesome.
God will bless you.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's just as simple as that. You know, like, you really do the right things. It may not have it right now,
Yeah.
but it will come through.
It comes
you know?
back around.
It does.
You get what you give.
It really
you know?
does.
Well,
You
I
know,
like
what you
it.
put out, it comes back. You
Yeah.
know, good energy is everything.
I like it. Well, CJ, you're one of the best trainers out there. Everyone knows who you are. You know, you're gonna blow up bigger now. You're coaching. You're back in the world. You've always been in it. A lot of people were construed because all your NFL guys, but you're back, man, and I'm happy, you know, that you're in this space because again, you have a great mind. You know the game well, and I think a lot of people are gonna see that with the videos coming out and everything with you. It's gonna be special. I think you're gonna have a great, bright future here.
Like I said, I'm thankful. You know, I'm thankful for the opportunity. It's just a great vibe, man. You know, and I just can't see what's
It's
next.
not work, baby. It's love. It's not work, baby. It's
I
love.
really can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, no. Well, listen, I appreciate you being here. It's my boy, CJ. I want to shout out the Step Up Podcast. It's your boy, Nelly. I'm out of here. Shout out to Ali in the
What's
building.
going on?
Shout out the home team, CJ. He's here. You know the
Right
vibe. Big
back.
turn
Home team,
two.
baby.
Big turn two.
Appreciate you.
Shout out to Jazz, man. Appreciate you, brother.